the EdTech vision that we have is first and foremost all focused on improving student achievement. That is ultimately what we're all aiming for. And given we're in Silicon Valley and we're the world center of innovation, a few of us got together and said it's kind of embarrassing that we're in Silicon Valley and we're not world-class when it comes to delivering education by leveraging technology, because we have the world's best technologists right here present with us. So with that effect, we got a few parties together and we said we're going to take a three-step approach. The first one is PwC working with the different members and interviewing different schools out there that have experimented with EdTech, put together a paper, which hopefully you all have a copy of and you'll all read it. And I'll share in a bit the insights. Simultaneously, the East Side Union High School District, which you'll see they're part of the panels today, initiated a bond and are in the process of implementing an EdTech plan. And of course, whatever we were finding along the way, we were sharing with them. And the third element, which is what this is about today, is how do we get more schools and districts in the education system to be more aware of where they stand relative to technology for the sake of student achievement?
That is where we're bringing together the best and the brightest education technology companies, bringing them to our classrooms to hopefully work towards adoption of the great tools that are out there and serve as a trusted advisor not only to the school districts but also to the education technology organizations to make sure that we have the great technology that all our students need to be successful in the classroom. If you have a great technology company, we would love to get it to evaluate it and try to get more products in Silicon Valley. So Silicon Valley is known for more than just semiconductors and cars and microprocessors, but it'll be known for education innovation. We'll guarantee you that.
We know that education, public education particularly, is the key to the success and strength of our economy. And I believe, and I think we all share the belief, that for education to be as successful, engaging, and exciting as it should be, that we need to invest and have the best technology available for all of our students. The initiative is No Child Left Offline. So one of my very, very, very top priorities is to modernize, to expand, to improve education technology in all of our schools. Of the 3.2 million students, how many will still have to take a paper and pencil test in the state of California because of an access issue, access to the internet? Only 900.
The technology piece is really just a tool to help accelerate and support the teaching and learning that goes on each day. It doesn't replace the teacher, and it doesn't replace the important interaction between the teacher and the student. But if you have the opportunity for teachers to develop that professional development and what it looks like in the classroom about flipping the classroom, being able to put their lectures on video so students can review the videos at home and then come back the next day for the actual hands-on experience, that is what we're looking for in terms of being able to roll out this type of technology, as well as allow students to extend their learning so that they can learn at home through the software that is out there.
I think we can be responsive to the interest and needs of the children so that they can take their education in different directions. There's so many different ways that these children will be able to be productive in society and contribute to society. They should go in the areas and the direction where they've got their interest. And my long-term view and vision for what EdTech does is it allows us to really educate to a classroom of one.
What we're really talking about is educating a whole child, and that's really the whole purpose of it. I've seen some of that vision happen in schools, and I was at a school in Fullerton a couple of weeks ago where they were learning coding in 2nd grade, and they were learning basic coding and in a 4th grade class where they were sitting in small groups, and the group was networked with tablets, and they were all, and one of the little girls went, "I'm going to host this one," and they were actually checking each other's learning, and they were swiping and moving and all this kind of stuff and it seemed so natural to them. But we just have to remember that we're talking about the whole child here and not get too seduced into the technology piece of it.
But to a great extent, technology can be and should be an end in itself, kids to become technology natives, because the simple fact is two things. One, that's where the jobs will be. And secondly, if education can be measured in California by avoiding what is becoming a Dickensian universe, We are becoming a Dickensian world between haves and have-nots, best of times, worst of times. And what's going to be a thing that's going to help a low-income student go from where they are to where they can be? There will be no force multiplier greater than technology. There will be no force multiplier greater than becoming a technology native.
How long would you be comfortable funding this technology plan? 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, et cetera. And what we see is kind of an increase. As the time extends, if we go to, say, 15 to maybe 20 years, we actually see voter support increase for the measure. Voters understand that this isn't a one-time solution. The districts need a long-term plan to create this technology. They're willing to give districts time to implement this as long as that plan is communicated.
Well, relating back to the previous panel, there is no technology that keeps kids on task. What keeps kids on task is better lesson design, passion, interest, creativity. Eric was talking about, the not getting into the robo-teaching model where all I'm using technology for is to not have to grade things. For me, it's exactly what he described. It's kids sitting around tablets, deciding things, presenting things, picking them up, putting them down, learning how to present, share ideas more quickly, and having access to the whole world instead of just what's in a textbook.
Technology itself, by itself, doesn't make or break, It's how you understand the requirements and you understand the need to position the right technology for the right need.
It's really not about the technology, it's about the people. And more, we look for ways and strategies to focus on the person and how to make them as successful as possible, because people want to be successful. They want to be great in their job. They want to do good work. And I think same with students and everybody who's in this education ecosystem. Teachers want to do a great job. Superintendents want to do a great job. But it's about helping them understand what that is and what that change means and how they can leverage the technology in the best way possible.
One of the really important things when working with our teachers is to keep them focused on what is it that we want our students to be able to do.
We've talked about infrastructure, we've talked about bandwidth, we've talked about the need for devices. What becomes non-negotiable? What do you need to have in those environments to get those kinds of effects?
If you're familiar with the triangle of Maslow's hierarchy, there's two new bottom levels, which are battery and Wi-Fi. Then we work our way up to air and food. My thesis is once I have Wi-Fi and bandwidth and devices, then the magic of teaching can start appearing.
One of the most essential elements that I found is professional development for our teachers. That is just absolutely essential. If we don't show them ways that technology can be used as a tool to integrate into their instruction, it's useless to them. They don't have that need. They don't see, why should I use this technology? So being able to work with them through that professional development is really essential.
When I've led IT departments, our motto was always use the whole internet up today because there'll be more tomorrow.
We can get it down to where people can go at the pace they need to go at. People can learn at the rate that they learn in the way that they need to learn. We have the way to help that. That's never going to take away the art of teaching. In fact, it's the enhancement. It makes the great teacher really great because they have the time to be able to see.
We know that it's not good enough for it just to be in the classrooms, and so the city is stepping in, and we're working on ways in which we can make our street infrastructure, our buildings, launching places for Wi-Fi to enable us to broaden the scale of what East Side Union High School District's doing within the classroom. How we can reach thousands more families who don't have access. An opportunity for community wireless. And if we can do it on the East Side, why don't we do it citywide? The opportunities to be able to extend learning time, we know, are powerful in terms of outcomes if the learning, that is, the instruction, the engaging, is done well. So there are opportunities certainly for a convergence of our places of learning, a convergence of our public institutions and our dollars. I think also really what this all comes down to is a convergence of opportunity. Tim Ritchie was right. We do live in a Dickensian world, and in the Valley it's become more acute than ever. And we really have before us an imperative of making technology ubiquitous, because we know that is the great divide. Certainly there's money, certainly there's resources, but if we can make technology ubiquitous in a meaningful way across the digital divide, how could we solve so many challenges, so many problems
that our young learners face on a daily basis.
A lot of knowledge shared, a lot of learning shared. And frankly, what we also heard is this path is not very clear forward. We know we want to get there. We know some of us are leading the charge, and that takes risk-taking, it takes ambition, and we all know it's the right thing to do.